Hello, and welcome to Losers
Watch
The Ultimatum
Queer Love.
Season 2.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm Brandon,
And I'm Crista.
and we're going to talk about The Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2
Bum, bum, bum.
on Netflix. We've watched episodes 1 and most of 2. Woo!
Everything but the choice.
And we might record the choice on this episode later.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to get our thoughts out before the choice on this first episode.
Because I really can't tell by the choice.
Yeah.
Or like for the choice, I guess.
Yes.
They did a good job at making it more
ambiguous.
Yeah. Well, maybe because we have the horror of all the Ultimatum Q on this one. Dating everyone intensely.
Wow, that's aggressive.
Well,
You're being aggressive.
that's just how I feel.
You're being aggressive.
I'm just being honest and my authentic self.
Go straight to
Okay, so I don't know how we want to do this because we didn't discuss it ahead of time. So here we are. But we have 6 couples.
Well, I want to start here. Before that,
Okay.
the preview to the entire show shows way too much shit.
Okay.
Way too much.
Well, we skipped it.
We did skip it, but before that, like, I feel like I could have figured out what the choice was.
But I feel like the choice isn't the big part of the show.
It's a big part of, like, the second episode,
Yeah.
apparently.
But, like, I don't think it's as exciting because you're more interested in the actual partnership and how it goes and then when they get back together.
I guess, but, like, I still want the surprise.
I guess.
Personally don't want spoilers, so I don't want to be shown this preview, which is why I always skip previews and trailers.
Well, half of them all look the same anyway at the beginning. Like, before we started watching it, I have no idea still who half the people were.
Outrageous.
Because they showed, like, the half sides of the heads and the back of the head, and, like, I don't know.
I think if we went back and watched the preview right now, after watching, like, almost the full 2 first episodes, we'd be able to tell who was with who and who's getting with who and how.
Yes, but they put it at the beginning because you're not watching the show yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're not on Autotune.
I wish we were on Autotune. Everything would be better on Autotune.
My other point before even the show started was that all these couples seem to be female presenting. So we're like, there's no gay men.
No, because you're not going to throw in 2 gay men into this experiment when they're experiment because they all have to couple up with each other and that wouldn't work.
Yeah, but
and if you did half and half, you know who's going with who at that point.
Maybe, but like I feel like we could still do a season like that.
I just don't think it would have the same effect because you're giving them very limited options, and if they don't get along together, then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but like the Ultimatum always has couples that don't get along.
Yeah.
They always end up, there's always like a couple or 2 that choose each other because they have to, they're leftovers.
Yes. But that's kind of forcing that if none of them get along, you're stuck between 2 options. So if that, like, that's very limited on it.
Okay.
They'd have to do one that's all male or all female.
Sure. This is Queer Love Season 2. Season 1 was all female. Season 2 could be all male.
I just don't think an all male season would get as many hits as an all women.
Oh, absolutely not. But like, representation matters.
Yes. But how do we know that not as many men applied as well, and that's why we went with female again?
I think that if you were to put out the casting as looking for queer men, like, you would get enough people.
I just don't think it would be as entertaining in my own personal opinion. It's not that I have any issue with that. I just don't think watching it on TV would have the same effect as watching the Queer Love Women version. I don't know why. But I've never seen it, so I guess I can't really.
Exactly.
Anyways, I like that it's the women. So
give it to us, Netflix. Queer Love Men Edition.
Men Edition. That's what we name it. Not just Queer Love. It's got to be Queer Love Male Edition.
Queer Love all dick. dick, all dick.
Just call it dicks.
Ultimatum dicks.
Anyway.
Okay.
So we have 6 couples.
We have 6 couples.
They everybody is basically around the same age in this season, except there's 2 people who are 25, and everyone else is 27 or 29 or 30. Those are the ages. Like 25 is the youngest, 30 is the oldest.
Yep.
They're all pretty around the same point. I honestly didn't realize that Dana's 25 until I just looked down at my paper. I knew Marita is because she acts like she's fucking 25.
Yes.
But I didn't get that vibe now that I'm thinking back to watching this from Dana.
That she's 25?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. Disagree.
You think so?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Couple number 1. AJ and Brittany.
So AJ's 29 and Brittany is 27. They've been together for 5 years, and Brittany's the one that issued the ultimatum. So what we've gathered from our info on them is AJ doesn't want to be in this relationship.
Correct.
And Brittany does, but Brittany is also open to this experiment. Why do I keep saying it like that?
What?
Experiment.
Experiment. Because
How do you say it?
experiment.
Oh, experiment. Why am I saying experiment? Okay.
Because you've watched a lot of Netflix, and they do often say experiment.
Okay. So TV is rotting my brain. Perfect.
Reality.
Ta-da! Here we are.
Reality TV, rotting brains.
Jesus. So that's basically, yeah.
We got a very limited first exposure to a lot of the couples.
Yes, like we didn't really see them until episode 2, and then in reality, there's still people on this list that I'm like, I couldn't tell you a fucking thing about them. Ashley, for sure. Like, I saw her for 2 minutes at the end there, talking to one person, and that was the only conversation we witnessed with her.
Pretty much.
Like, that's weird to me.
Like, she definitely talked a few times, but
not often.
Yeah.
AJ, I think I could tell you the world about AJ. I already know who AJ is as a person.
Yes, we watched a lot of AJ.
Because AJ is the horror of this season. She's the
horror is not correct.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of in that other season who I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it right now. Like in the not other queer one, in the season 1, I feel like there was somebody else that was very much like this, but I can't think of it. But in my head, I'm also just thinking of the Cuties Orange kid, Cole, even though that's a different show. What? It's fine. My brain is like ADD.
Your brain is mush.
Yes.
Mush.
We watch a lot of reality TV. It's very hard for me. So the second couple, moving on to Marie and Mel. So Marie and Mel are both 27. They've been dating for 4 years, and Marie was the one who issued the ultimatum. They have a food truck together.
Yeah.
And Marie's very unsure if that's what she wanted or if that's what she just did to make somebody else happy.
Mel.
And I feel bad for her. And Mel is weird.
Yes.
Mel is a little, like when they were having that conversation near the end about her being kind of sketchy, I kind of feel it as they were saying it when AJ and Megan were talking about it. I could feel what they were saying and that they're uncomfortable, and I get why, because she is kind of off. So we'll see how that works out with whoever she ends up with, because we're very unsure. She's spoken to 2 different people, and I still don't know who I think she's going to pick.
Mel's spoken more than 2.
But we really see Mel with Brittany and with
Marita.
No, not Marita. It's not Marita. I can't think of who it is now for some reason. But I will, because we've seen her the most. It's Mel and Dana. But I've never even seen her talk to Dana. And then when Dana had that, so Dana starts flipping out in the second episode being like, you are always with Brittany and you act so different. No, Brittany. Brittany's the one with AJ, yeah.
My V.
So she's like yelling at her about it and being like, you're always with Brittany, and in behind closed doors, it's so different. So in my head, I forgot that they weren't the original couple, and I thought she was talking to her original couple and being upset. And then we talked about it, and I was like, what the fuck? That's not even your OG couple, but I haven't seen a single thing of the 2 of them together.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
No, they flirted in the first episode, Dana and Mel.
Okay, but flirting in the first episode and then showing us the dates in the second episode are 2 very different pieces of this puzzle.
True.
We didn't see them on a date, besides the beginning one where we know they all date each other. That I totally, yes. Yeah. Saw them all talk to each other. But then the second episode, we go more into who they chose to have dates with, who they talked to at the cocktail. We never saw Dana and her talk. So I was very thrown off by that. Anyways, so that's where I'm at with Mel and Marie.
Haley and Pilar.
Pilar.
Pilar is 29.
Haley's also 29.
Haley's 29. Haley issued the ultimatum. They've been together for 10 years. Pilar has a not great history with her family. When she came out, it's later revealed she wrote a letter and left because she knew she wouldn't be accepted by them.
And they did not accept her, and her family is trash.
Yeah.
So I hate them.
Yeah. So she doesn't have a history with her family anymore.
She basically, she said it took her 8 years to tell her family that she was gay and had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it took her so long because she knew, and then they treated her like garbage and she doesn't have a relationship with them anymore. And she's sad about it. And that makes me sad because that's, of all the things that you could stop talking to your own daughter for, that shouldn't be it. That's fucked.
Agreed.
Pisses me off. So I feel for her.
Moving on to our next couple, Kyle and Bridget. They've been together for 2.5 years. Kyle is the giver of the ultimatum.
Kyle's 30. Bridget's 29. I did not think Kyle was going to be the one that was the ultimatum giver when we were first talking to them.
Yeah.
She just didn't come off as the one that gave the ultimatum. And then when she said it, I was like, oh, interesting.
Lashuk.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought for sure it was going to be Bridget.
So the next couple is Marita and Ashley. They've been together for 3 years. Ashley gave the ultimatum. Ashley is 30 and Marita is 25.
I hate Marita. Marita's my least favorite character on here. She's the villain of my story in this. I just know that whoever she's with, I'm pretty sure I know who it's going to be, but she's going to be a shitstorm. I can just tell.
What do you mean a shitstorm?
I think her and AJ are going to end up together, and I think they're just going to be a shitstorm. I think it's just not. They're either going to fuck on, the second day, and everybody's going to get pissed off and hate them, or they're just going to fight the whole time, and it's just going to be a shitstorm.
Okay.
That's just where I'm at with the two of them.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Or they're going to fuck and then fight.
Yeah, Marita and AJ are the two that I think are the most into this just to escape their relationship, which I was kind of surprised about AJ mostly.
Yeah, because at the beginning I didn't think that until we saw the dates.
Yeah, episode 1 and we still have another couple, but episode 1, they all gather together at a big table and we meet the host and we all talk about why are we here? And everyone says something or whatever. And AJ says a lot about Brittany being Brittany is so goal oriented and is succeeding in life and keeps succeeding in life. And AJ felt at the beginning she was providing enough, but has been surpassed. That's a big part of their dynamic or whatever. And AJ felt she can't give Brittany enough, which makes it seem like Brittany's the one issuing the ultimatum and being no, you are enough. Just date me or just marry me or whatever. But after watching a little bit of AJ, it's just AJ doesn't seem like she's ready to settle down. She wants to be out on the prowl.
I also don't understand that. The whole, I can't provide for you more than you can provide for yourself. What is wrong with being able to independently provide for yourself while being with someone else? To me, that doesn't seem like a problem. And I can never fathom being like that. I don't feel as though you have to make more money than me. You have to provide for me. You have to be at the same level as me. That doesn't, you are two different people. If you're always competing for the top, that's...
To be provider.
Yeah, that's never going to work. You shouldn't have to compete for that. And you shouldn't feel bad that somebody can also provide for themselves because they've worked hard to succeed in what they want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. That bothers me. I that's who she is and that's fine. I don't understand that dynamic of being a problem in the relationship, and that's why you don't want to commit to someone.
Unless that's just an excuse.
True.
So that you have a good, quote unquote, good reason why you're not ready to commit.
Maybe, but it's not AJ is the only person in the world that feels that way.
Yeah, but in this case, and you're on the show.
Yeah.
To be fair, you've agreed to be on the show where you're going to date other people. it stands to reason that like maybe that's a good cover story for what you really want, and that's to like have an excuse to cheat on your partner.
Like, I have many issues with these people's excuses why they don't wanna get married. Like, well, we can talk about Mel's later because I also disagree with that one.
Can't wait.
So our last couple is Megan and Dana. So Megan's 27, Dana's 25. Dana's the one who issued it to Megan. A big part of it is that Megan's parents don't accept that she's gay, and that's a huge issue for her.
I believe Megan said that she was Arabic.
Mhm.
And so like there's a whole history of culture.
Yes.
I believe Dana said like if you're not enough to tell your family, then you're not enough for me or something like that. And there's a lot of what it represents on the show or whatever. It's a lot of misunderstanding on like cultural differences.
Oh, yes, and, Dana's whole thing was, "I just want her to stand up to her parents," and it's not about standing up to your parents, like, she can stand up to them all day, every day, they're not gonna accept it
Yeah,
regardless because it's a religious thing and it's who they are, like,
possibly.
yes, but if that's the case, that's what it sounds like for the most part, then you can't force someone's parents to accept it.
Yeah.
It can still be hard on her either way, but at some point, she's either gonna have to cut that tie with her parents and let it go because that's who she is as a person, and she's not gonna change. She's not gonna all of a sudden be like, "You're right.
Yeah.
I like men. I'm gonna marry a man." Like, that's not who she is. But Dana shouldn't be pushing her to fight her family on it at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a shitty reason to push someone.
Yeah. If that's like your only reason, that is a shitty reason. Like Megan seems like she's obviously out enough to be dating, etc.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it sucks to be a hidden person in a relationship. So like, yeah, there's you totally have valid feelings on that in that regard or whatever, but like you still can't make someone fight their whole family.
Yeah. And I don't think it's that she's not out.
Yeah.
She definitely is. Her parents definitely know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, you can't what do you want her to do? Be like, "You're gonna accept it, or I'm never talking to you again." Like, that's not a fair thing to make somebody choose between your family and you when you're still clearly have been dating for however we actually don't know how long they've been dating. But, for however long you guys have been dating, you've still been together. So I don't know what she's hoping for, like, what, Dana's hoping for at the end of this. I think Dana's another one that I can't tell if she wants to be in this relationship or not.
According to today.com pop culture, they've been dating for a year and a half. Okay. So that's basic intros. I don't know where to go from here.
I don't think like they go on their one-on-one dates and that's really
Well, okay, before that they all have their little like talk about beforehand. Like,
okay.
they get there, they do the sit down talk, and then they go back to their hotels, and then
Oh.
it's their last night together. So my like first impressions. So it starts with Kyle and Bridget. Bridget just doesn't want to get married.
Yeah, like she's just never wanted marriage.
Yeah,
It's never been in the cards for her.
yeah. Just fundamentally, like she doesn't give a shit about that thing. So I feel like the experience isn't going to fix their issues.
No, and Kyle's reason for wanting to get married is also stupid because she said that she just wants somebody like to show her family that she's committed to someone.
Yeah,
You can be committed without being married.
correct.
Like that is crazy. To me,
Yeah.
them breaking up because Bridget doesn't want to get married is fucking wild
Yeah,
because it's stupid on both ends. Like just don't get married then and stay together and be happy. Because neither of them seem like they want out to me so far. Like neither of them seem like they came here just to fuck around and they don't care.
yeah,
I just don't get it between the two of them.
yeah. Like, why are you on this show?
Yes.
Marina and Ashley.
Oh my God, Marita, the first thing she says is, "I have a wandering eye because she's just not sure about a relationship."
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Just break up.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
Queen, why are you here?
Because I want to be famous and get to explore other
She
relationships.
was like, "I just don't think Ashley's doing enough.
Yeah,
I don't think you're doing enough. Like, I don't like you, man."
yeah, that one was so weird and so like obviously like Marita's going to be a villain of this season.
Yes, with AJ. They're going to be the villain couple.
Probably.
Yes. For sure. And they're going to fucking piss everybody off at cocktail parties after when they get into a couple.
Yeah.
Like all those stupid things where they all do it together, they're going to piss everybody off.
Yes.
Guaranteed. Everyone, too. I don't think they'll just piss off their couple.
If they get together, who knows?
Yeah, true. We don't know.
Well,
I can picture it happening.
Anyone who's seen 13 minutes more than us will know.
Yes, true. This is true. You're all sitting here being like, I've watched both episodes and you're both fucking stupid. That's probably what's happening. That's fine. Our whole 2 people that listen to us. Hi, Amelia.
Marie and Mel. Marie wants a family and Mel doesn't want kids or marriage. So like this is not going to work out.
And somehow their anniversary of dating is the same time that they open their food truck. Pick a different day. Any day. The next day. Why is your anniversary? Why is it shared with your food truck opening? That's so thrown aside on top of the fact that Mel already doesn't want to do this. Like that just, I can totally see why Marie would ever feel thrown aside in their relationship.
Yeah. But Marie in this conversation, like she says she's excited to mingle. And I get confused by that later when Mel is the one like flirting with everyone.
But maybe Marie is excited to actually talk to somebody else and see how other people treat their partners and aren't pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Because Mel's kind of a piece of shit.
Seems like.
Yeah, seems like. I don't know for sure yet, but she seems pretty shitty.
Well, like, we'll never know for sure because we don't know these people in real
True,
life.
but I don't like her.
From what we see on the show.
Well, I don't like her. I have strong opinions.
Yes.
And they're hard to change.
Brittany and AJ. AJ doesn't seem confident in Brittany being the one. And that's basically what I got from this.
Like, I just don't think she's in it.
Yeah.
She's not in it to win it.
Yeah, like, AJ doesn't want to be in this relationship. And it just seems like she wants to be single again.
So here's my other problem for poor Brittany.
Okay.
I think Brittany deserves better than AJ's personality because I just don't think AJ's in it. And I think AJ just wants to fuck around.
Yeah, which was a huge discrepancy from what she said at the parents' meeting at the beginning.
But why are you going for Mel? Because Mel is AJ adjacent. She also doesn't want to be with anybody and she doesn't want to do marriage and she doesn't want all these things and you're fucking like locked and loaded with her. What are you doing? She deserves better than both AJ and Mel.
You find comfort in familiarity.
Well, fuck, then your experience is already done before it began.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's going to go through the same hardships that she already deals with AJ.
Sure.
With Mel. I don't know for sure if they're going to get together, but that's what I picture. Because who knows? I didn't even know about her and Dana.
Oh, Mel and Dana.
So I don't know. But I just feel like Brittany's going to get robbed of this experience because she's picking someone too close to AJ.
Mm-hmm. So I think, after, like, those were the 4, 5, whatever couples that we saw at this point, like, just talking before they break up. And then we get into the first day of being single and dating. And the first one we see are Pilar and Megan. Pilar. And Megan talking or whatever. And like this is the one where like Megan is worried to end up like Pilar and not have her family like know her at all, etc. And then Megan becomes resentful of Dana in this conversation and stuff. And just like, why is she here, basically?
Yeah.
Because Dana's like making her be here.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Well, and Pilar talks about how her and Haley are each other's first girl relationships. Neither of them have ever dated a girl before or after, obviously, because they've been together for 3 years. So that I worry for them too, because I don't know if they're both just here now to see if that's what they actually like. It's a weird one if that's your only and first girl relationship to come on this show where you're now dating 6 other women.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a lot in your head, but.
And you haven't gained enough life experience. Dating more than one person is important in life.
Yes. Well, they dated men. Pilar said she dated men before. Like, they have dated other people. When it's your first relationship and that's all you've clung on to, and then you're going to now date 6 other people, I feel like it's probably overwhelming in a way. Like, Haley does seem overwhelmed when we see her. Not overwhelmed, but when she talks to Megan, I feel like they have very similar like views.
Yeah.
And I feel like they both seem not closed off to this experiment. Like obviously so at some point, Megan goes and sees her girlfriend and like says she wants to leave.
Yeah,
Because
that's
she,
the end of episode 1
Yeah.
ends on a cliffhanger with Megan talking to
why can't I think of who she's with for some reason? Isn't it Bridget? No, Bridget
No.
Kyle. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Megan.
it's Megan and Dana.
There we go. So I can't remember Dana's name because she doesn't look like a Dana to me, and it's very confusing. So she goes to Dana and says, I want to leave.
But Danas are trouble. And you never know that as a Dana because no one will tell you that.
I've never met someone named Dana in my life. Like, I've never even come across a person named Dana as an acquaintance.
It's called a pickup line.
I know, but I'm just saying. I've never even met a Dana.
It's called a bad pickup line that you can just...
Wasn't it AJ?
Where you can just noun the noun, you know?
Yes. But wasn't that AJ's pickup line? Yes, of course it was. But when they talk, like...
Actually, I'm not sure.
No, I'm pretty sure it was. But she wants to go home because she's not feeling into this. And then Dana basically like guilts her into staying.
Yes.
And then we see Megan talking to Haley, and they make sense to me. They are both they're both kind of hesitant at the beginning, and then I think they realize that they can really help each other with a lot of their issues, but it doesn't seem romantic, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with you coming here to grow as a human being.
A lot of Queer Love season 1 was a lot of like people partnering up to grow.
Yeah.
And we only had like 1 or 2 couples that were like in it for intimacy.
Yes.
And
I'm okay with that because I understand that you have to pick somebody to live with. And why wouldn't you pick someone that you at least think can help you grow in different ways than the person that you're with now? Like that, those are people that came here for either forced or finding an intention to it. But I feel bad for her being like guilted into staying when she didn't want to stay.
Yeah, well, like, so she wasn't the ultimatum giver.
Yes.
So like each person,
Comfortable.
giver and receiver, each have their own powers in this situation where a giver can be like, no, you have to stay in this relationship until you've made a decision. And receiver is stuck being in this situation until they've made a decision. But like the receiver, and in this case, Megan, theoretically could just be like, I've learned enough. I want to be with you. Let's go get married now. And that would then put the ball back in Dana's court. And then Dana would have to be like, oh, you've now fulfilled my prerequisite for being in this show. And either we're going to leave and go get married or whatever, or I'm going to be outed as the person who just wants to fuck around on this show.
But the problem is that Megan isn't ready for marriage after this. She just is uncomfortable and doesn't want to be here.
Right.
So she's not going to say that because that wouldn't be true to her. So she's just like, I want to go home.
Right. And that's totally valid too.
Yes.
But like, I'm just explaining.
Yeah. The different.
If Megan has been so shook about this situation that she wants to get married, even if it's for the bad reason, like that's her power.
Yes.
To get out.
But then I also commend her for not using it and just being like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Maybe she just needed a pep talk.
And Ultimatum last season, not Queer Love, like we saw couples leave because they were uncomfortable.
Stupid. Not stupid. Stupid that you were already in it.
Yeah.
And you screwed over a bunch of people. Had you left before, then the couples could have just coupled up with who was left. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
there and there.
Yeah. I don't know where else we're at now. Bridget doesn't have a job. I know that.
Bridget is a free spirit and doesn't want to be tied down. She's in the creative artist. She is a creative artist and a musician. And to make money, she works at a bar. Yeah. She's bad with her money.
Yeah, she's very bad with money. I'm sorry. I don't mean she didn't have a real job. She does work at a bar that is a real job. But she has, influencer fake job. Like everyone who's on Love Island. But yeah, that's fine. Brittany bought a house. I didn't like when AJ said she bought a house and was like, well, actually, Brittany bought the house.
Yeah.
You're also bad with money without saying it.
Yeah. Marie and AJ go on a little date and AJ explains that, like, Brittany bought the house that they live in, even though she started off with like, we bought a house.
She said, I have a house.
I have a house. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I think is just wild. The wild to come off of it like that at first. Yeah, I have a house. And then you're like, well, actually, Brittany bought the house. You probably paid nothing into it. Brittany, the boss bitch.
We don't know that. Marie and AJ both say that like they started as the givers in the relationship. And this goes with what AJ said in the first episode, where like she was a giver, a provider, and then she felt surpassed by her partner. And Brittany now provides a lot more than AJ can.
But also get over it and find your own success in what you want to do and just keep going. Why do you have to be the bigger, better person in the relationship?
Je ne sais pas.
I can't get past it.
And Marie feels resentful that she has spent her life like
starting a food truck that she didn't want to start.
Yeah. Focusing on the food truck and like giving it all to that for Mel's dream, but not her dreams. Yeah. And I guess here we are.
But that I understand more than just being
for sure
that you're not the giver. Like, you wanted to make someone happy and now it doesn't make you happy anymore doing that. And you put your own dreams on hold. That sucks. I hope she can find a way to do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how stupid Marita is for a second here.
Okay.
Hold
on.
Okay.
So to set the situation,
okay,
Marita and AJ now talk. And they're both talking about how they're hopeless romantics. And this is where you want to come in.
So Marita says, I think AJ asks what's the most romantic thing, or maybe somebody asks, what's the most romantic thing you've ever done? And Marita, I don't think this is romantic. I think it's fucking psychotic. Wrote a 98-page of their love story. I've been with you for 4 years, and I don't think I could write 98 pages of our love story.
I could. You know what it would include?
What?
Fighting dragons and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no realistic love story that you, Marita, specifically wrote of 98 pages. I think you're dumb. I can't imagine what it says. I don't think she's a super intelligent human.
She might be. You don't know how good she is at the written word?
Sure. Anyways, I think that's crazy. AJ's was cute. I didn't write it down, but I thought hers was a cute romantic story.
So AJ had a song.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember now?
She had a song, basically. It was the song that they listened to on some date. And AJ had it redone by someone and then had the person sing it live to Brittany while they were on a date.
To serenade them.
Yes. And I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah.
And there was more to it, but that was very sweet of her to do. The comparison between the two most romantic things you two have ever done, or one is very...
AJ's was complicated.
Yes. And cool.
And Marita's was, I wrote this giant...
bullshit love story
poem.
That will take you a week to read.
I don't know, that 98 pages? You could plow through that, I don't know.
Anyways, I just don't like Marita, but I also thought that was wild.
And then AJ is attracted to many girls, she says.
Yes.
And we see her continuing like all dates with everyone, basically.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So we go to a cocktail party, and Mel and Brittany are vibing.
Yep.
And I don't understand it. And then Brittany's upset that AJ is so easily connecting with everybody else, and she cries a little.
Yeah. There's at one point where someone asks, what is everyone's celebrity crush?
Yep.
And then they start naming names.
And I don't know anyone.
Yeah, we didn't know any single person they named, so apparently we're not in it with the gay community.
Yeah, we're horrible people, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I think they were all gay people, because they were talking about that a bit. But I don't know. I just think, are you a celebrity? Like, I should have wrote them all down and then looked them up to know who they were talking about, but...
We're old.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this at all? We're straight. And
Some
old.
of them are 30 years old. Like, we're not that much older than these people.
We're a decade older than these people.
We're a decade older than Marita. Stupid Marita. So then the end of that episode is them with the Dana and the Megan stuff, which we already talked about. So then we flip our way into episode 2. So which is Megan, the end of the Megan thing.
Yeah. Dana convinces Megan to stay on the show.
And try.
Yeah, because, like, Dana's clearly into this situation.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Dana said Megan said she's going to stay and try. Perfect.
Yeah.
My next note is AJ likes too many people.
Yeah.
Like, it's really playing the field here.
Yeah, because we're back in, like, demo dating time. Everyone seeing each other.
They picked their couple people they want to go on dates with for the day, and that's what they're doing. And I specifically wrote, I really want her to not pick Marita, but she's gonna. I hate it.
So she's hanging out with Marita and Bridget this time.
Yep.
And Marita says that Ashley isn't romantic enough with her on, like, Marita and AJ's date or whatever. And that's just sad.
Yes.
It's sad to attack your previous partner.
I think.
And their shortcomings.
Yes. I think AJ seems supportive when people talk about, like, things that are struggles for them. But I now, watching more, feel like everything she says is a lie. Not a lie, but, like, beefed up to be what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Agree with that one.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I wish that you were being more of a genuine human being, because maybe some of these people actually, minus Marita, want to do this experience and actually live through it. I think some of them do.
Well, yeah.
And are trying to work on themselves and their relationships.
I think some of them, want to work on things. And then there's some like Marita and AJ who clearly want to date.
And that's why even though I don't want them to be together because I think it's going to be horrid, I kind of want them to, because then they can't ruin somebody else's experience who actually wants to do it properly.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with them.
So we get a weird, like, not love triangle, but love triangle. And then it goes into the other.
With Pilar?
Zigzags of people dating. So it starts with, like, Marina and Ashley going on a date. And then that cuts off. And then Kyle and Pilar go on a date.
And then Pilar also likes Bridget.
Yes.
Who is Kyle's original couple. So that's a weird spot for Pilar to be in, because she's very torn between the two of them. Specifically.
Wait, what?
Pilar is torn between Kyle and Bridget.
No.
Yes.
No, the other way. Bridget and Kyle go on a date.
Bridget and Kyle are the original.
No, I know. They're couple. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
It's Pilar that goes on a date with both of them. Yes. And she's very torn between the two of them.
Yeah. Pilar and Kyle have, like, a history, like, both of them have family issues with them being gay. And then, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yes. And then, but she's so torn between the two because one of them is very similar to her and one isn't. So she's very torn on what she wants to do in this overall.
Yes. And then it goes to AJ and Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
Because
AJ's dating everyone.
AJ's dating everyone. And they get very, like, they talk about sexual intimacy.
Yes.
And, like, how many times you should have sex a week, etc., etc.
Which is a fine conversation to have. Like, it's not like it's unimportant.
No, but it's the story that they are feeding us with AJ, basically.
Yes.
Like, this continues that story. And, like, I'm sure everyone else is having this conversation, but because we were watching AJ do it, AJ is a player.
My problem with AJ is that we continue to see or say the same things to all the people about how they're her number one and how she was, like, very into them and that's who she wants to pick and whatever. But she says that to 3 different people. Bruh. That's fucking rude.
Yes. Also, in this date with Bridget, AJ says that this experience might open her up to marriage if it's with the right person.
Yeah, so which is like Brittany isn't.
Yeah, like, clearly you don't want to marry Brittany, so fucking, like, be honest about that part and just stop dating.
Yes. Fucking wild. That's I found that this season is a lot more overlap with people, and I don't know if it's just because AJ's dating everyone and then other people are dating each other, that I feel like we're seeing a lot of the same people on different dates,
Yes.
but it's probably AJ.
Well, they're picking like their like main characters or whatever
Yeah.
for whatever reason. You know, production has this power.
Well, because maybe like we saw that one conversation between Megan and Haley, but I also think they might be more boring to watch. So we're not going to watch as many conversations with them if it's not something interesting.
Yeah.
At the same time. And Ashley clearly has no connection with anyone, so we just don't see Ashley.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Till the very end when she makes connection again.
Yes.
So Mel and Brittany go on a date.
Yeah.
And we learn that Mel is scared of relationships and commitment and just in general. And I don't think she should be with Brittany.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, Brittany's the ultimatum giver. It's so dumb when like these couples match up with like
a different person that doesn't want to get married. It's like, okay.
Why are you wasting your time with the same type of person? Just stop.
Because maybe they'll want to get married for the right person.
Well,
stupid.
Yeah, that's what fucking AJ said. So yeah, in this conversation though, Mel talks about how she was born with chronic pain and stuff, and she doesn't think she's gonna live as long.
Well, she was born with an issue and she has chronic pain.
Yeah. Well, no, she says that she doesn't think she's gonna live as long.
No, I know, but we don't actually know what her health issue is. She said she was born with health issues, and now she lives with chronic pain, and she's scared to marry someone. For what? You don't want somebody to help take care of you and love you while you're going through a disaster? Like,
Or maybe she's not being selfish and she wants to spare everyone else from dealing with that kind of situation.
But that's not up to you to decide that I don't love you enough to help you and still want to be with you while you're living through something. I think that's bullshit. Like a big load of bullshit. And I said this to you while we were watching it. If something was wrong with you, I would still want to spend even the 20 years I would get with you.
And I said that's because you're already committed, and this is a nice, good thing that she is disclosing up front to prevent people from committing before it's too late.
That's how you're getting people to not commit to you, though.
Yes.
Because you're just, that's a bullshit reason. And you're also trying to force other people's opinions of, I'm in too much pain and I'm gonna die early, so don't even bother. Like, that's not up to you to decide if other people think you're worth it or not.
I think that it's a good thing to know up front.
Yes.
If you like having a child, it is something to admit up front.
I agree.
That you can proceed knowing as much information as you have.
I agree. But her partner, who's she with? Marie? Marie.
Mel
and Marie.
Yeah.
Marie already knows this. They've been dating for years. And you're telling me you're too scared to commit to someone who brought you on here because she wants to marry you and spend the rest of your life with you. And you're saying that you're too scared to commit because you're sick.
I agree with you here. Like, that's a bad reason to be on the show.
Yes.
It's a good reason or a good thing to say early on in a relationship with these new people.
I agree with you there. Like, that, we're on the same page about that. I just think your reason of why you're scared to commit to the person you're with is ridiculous. And like, it's not, like, I also have chronic pain, and I would hope that you would still love me through it anyway. Like, I just don't.
See you later.
Shut up.
Bye-bye now.
I just don't understand what her problem is in this, and I wish I had more information so I could stop judging her so hard on it. But I just think the little bit that she gave me makes me mad, because I think it's stupid that you're trying to tell Marie that she doesn't want to love you forever. Fuck off. Anyways, it's fine.
Mel and Marita go on a date.
Yep.
Marita basically tells Mel that, like, Mel's afraid of commitment, and Marita says that's stupid.
Yep.
That's good. Marita wants to be challenged by Mel.
Marita can suck it.
Yeah. Megan and Haley go on a date.
Also, that wasn't Marita. That was Dana.
No,
it was Dana and Mel. You are terrible with names.
Are you sure?
More sexual between Mel and Dana. Dana thinks Mel would challenge her and she wants that in a relationship.
Damn it, Dana.
You're stupid.
Damn it.
It means that they want somebody that's going to not just submit to everything they say and go along with everything they say. They're going to challenge them in their relationship and keep it interesting.
I'm not damning that part. I'm damning
You said that you didn't understand what that meant, though.
Okay, fine.
I was trying to help you.
No, I'm too stupid.
Then we see the Haley and Megan chat, which we already talked about. Haley's a food scientist, and I think that's fucking cool.
Yes. So Megan is a personal trainer, and Haley makes food. So like, and not like a chef or whatever. She like makes the formulas to make protein bars or like prepackaged foods.
Yeah, I think that's cool. She was like, I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I made that. And I think that'd be fucking wicked.
Yeah.
So that's cool for her. I just thought that was neat. We didn't learn a lot about Haley until that conversation was the first time that I really got to know anything about her. So I think that's an interesting thing she does.
Haley does not want kids. She talks about that, and she talks about how she
physically doesn't want to birth children.
Yes, she's in this conversation, that's what she says. I like that might extend further to I don't want to raise kids, but at this point she says it's like the physical part of being pregnant or whatever, and Megan
says, "Oh, I'll have it," and she's like, "Well, that actually might be able to sway me," which I do understand as a woman. I also would never want to have kids in general, but part of that is the fear of actually going through having children. And she was talking about how she's very in her head, and having 9 months to have to think about it is like a lot of pressure and stress. I physically don't want to push a baby out of me or get fatter than I am or have swollen ankles. Like, it's very stressful and all the problems, like, it's scary. So I get it.
And I, as a man, have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yes. Well, and we don't want kids in general, so it's a hard topic for us to be on board about.
And I, as a man, have a lot of thoughts more on this.
Back up. Moving on then, sir.
I don't have any thoughts on this. I don't give a shit. I don't want kids.
Yeah. So then we move on to the cocktail party number 2, which, like, I don't know. I didn't find this as, like, very entertaining. Marita talks to Bridget about how she's really has feelings for, like, starting to develop something and growing a connection, whatever, and it's for AJ. And then Bridget gets all upset because she didn't realize how many people AJ was really dating and that she said similar stuff to both of them.
Yeah.
So that kind of ruined Bridget's, and then she's all stressed that no one's going to pick her.
Dana complains at Mel because Dana wants to be out with Mel. This is that conversation you mentioned earlier where you were confused if
that they were an original couple, because that's weird. She was like, "You ignore me." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sad." And you were like, "Well, that's the experiment." And I was like, "Okay, but apparently they're not even original." Fucking strange.
Yeah.
I thought that I think that Haley and Megan are a cute couple.
Okay.
I think that they would make a cute couple. And I not a couple, but I think that they'll do well together in this.
Yes. Megan and AJ are talking at some point, and they talk about Mel.
About how she's sketch.
Yes.
And I agree with that conversation.
Yeah.
I think she is kind of... their whole thing, too, was because Mel's 2 connections are with their original partners.
Yes.
And they're saying that they think that Mel will push physical on whoever she's with. Not push it on them, but, like, she will push for a more physical relationship, and neither of them are overly happy or comfortable with that.
Yes. Megan says that, like, that is a border she won't come back from.
Yes.
If Dana does that.
Yep.
And, like, understand that, but I also think in this season, Dana is going to go that far because Dana is not into Megan.
But I don't know if Brittany would. But I think that Mel would push more for it or try to make a move more than obviously Megan is going to with anyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do understand where they're coming from in that conversation. I wrote down specifically that I can 100% tell that Marita is not leaving with Ashley in the end of this. Like her original couple.
Yeah, I don't.
Definitely not. Those 2 are breaking up and leaving, hopefully alone. Because Marita is scary. And that's really... And AJ's trying to convince Marita to pick her, too. I didn't like that conversation.
Yeah, I still can't tell
What's genuine and what's not?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
AJ, like the AJ conversations all seem the same.
Because AJ is a pick-me girl.
I guess.
She's a pick-me.
I guess.
She's being a pick-me in this, which is shitty because then somebody is going to pick her.
And then someone else is not going to pick her. And
And,
then
and they're not going to get picked.
Yeah.
That sucks.
People are going to end up together that don't want to be together because they were all going for AJ. And AJ's going to be the linchpin that ruins two other couples.
Like, you're wasting everyone's time. What's your problem? You're shitty. I wouldn't even care if she was going on all these dates if she was upfront with them about her connection and who she actually has on the top of her leaderboard. Because it's not all fucking three. It isn't a tie for first place. You have to pick one.
Yeah. So it's who is it all here?
So it's
So
AJ is talking to Marita, Bridget, and Marie.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Bridget and Marita talk, and Marita admits that she already wants to get intimate with AJ.
Yes.
And this is where Bridget's like, well, I got to go talk to someone else that isn't AJ now.
And talk to Ashley
a bit.
Fine.
And this is like the first time that we actually see Ashley on a date.
Yep. And she's like, yeah, I want to. And they both admitted that they haven't talked since the very first day on the first dates.
Yeah.
But they were interested and just didn't, like, they were going on other dates with their other connections and didn't get a chance to reconnect. So that I think is fine. I understand.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. These conversations were all weird because we only get to see such small amounts of them.
Yeah.
So I really can't tell who I really think that AJ and Marita will end up together.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let's just move into like who do we think is going to go with who?
So I think AJ and Marita for sure. Did you have anything written down for guesses?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I didn't either. So I think it'll be AJ and Marita. I think might end up being, I think it'll be Kyle and what's her face? Pilar. I think she might pick Kyle. I think Bridget is going to end up with Ashley out of the fact that she doesn't have a choice.
Sorry, who?
Bridget and Ashley. I think that might end up being, because Ashley's only other option is Pilar, but I think Pilar might go Kyle.
Okay.
You know? And if Pilar goes Kyle, then Bridget is going to end up with Ashley. Okay. There's no other option for her, unfortunately. If Pilar ends up going with Bridget, I don't know who Kyle would end up with.
Yeah.
End up being Ashley. I think those are the four that are going to be intermittent.
Okay.
And then we have Marie, who I don't know who she'll end up with because I don't think it's going to be AJ, and I haven't seen her with anyone else, really.
Yeah. And Brittany's going to be with
Mel. And then there's one more.
Dana. Who's Dana going with?
Dana has also talked to who? Well, Mel is another one. I've only seen Dana talk to Mel and AJ.
Yeah.
Or no, Dana wasn't talking to AJ.
Yes, she was.
No.
Yes, she was.
No, it was Marie.
Dana got mad at AJ for not showing her enough, like, love, basically. And that's the one that you got confused about not being an original.
No, that was Mel.
Oh, yeah.
It was Mel and Dana, which was very confusing.
Wow.
AJ was talking to Marita, Bridget, and Marie. Those were the three that AJ has been talking to. So so that means that Dana and Marie will end up having to be together.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're missing someone, and I'm not sure who it is. So the last one is Haley and Megan. So that means that Dana and Marie end up having to be together, or that means that Kyle ends up with one of them, which I don't think will make sense to me.
Okay. So AJ and Marita, are you are saying guaranteed
for sure.
And then you're saying
Haley and Megan for sure.
Haley and Megan, yep.
Yeah. And then I think and then those are the only
Brittany and Mel.
Those are the three that I'm like pretty confident about. And the other three I really am unsure because they've made this season less obvious on who they're going to choose.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at before we go into our last 13 minutes.
And that's almost an hour.
Oh, yeah.
So that's episode 1 of this show. Woo. And episode 2, we'll start with the choice. Woo!
See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.